We're 28 days away from Kombat Pack 2 being released for Mortal Kombat 11, and leading up to the November 17th date, the NetherRealm Studios team held a Kombat Kast to showcase Rain and all his purple pain goodness. I break down what was discussed and shown, including brand new character intros, and variations of Rain's skins and moves. Before we dive into that, guys, make sure to hit that like button, because liking these videos lets me know that you love them. Make sure you smash that notification bell, so you don't miss any videos just like this one. Let's get to the news. So to begin Rain's Kombat Kast, NetherRealm Studios showcased various character intros, and even sneaked in the new intros for Rain, Rambo, and Mileena. It was totally unexpected, and if you weren't paying attention to it, you probably would have missed it. You had Rain's intro that was basically him showing off his moves with his guitar, and then finishing it off by him basically going into a water vortex before disappearing. We then got to see Rambo, who is basically getting a new weapon that we haven't seen of him yet, because everybody assumed that he just has guns, but watch out, the intro actually shows he has a bow and arrow with explosive heads on the arrow tips, which I think is freaking crazy. So from his little intro, you can see him actually screwing an explosive head on the arrow, and then loading up in a bow before he shoots it. And last but not least, we have Mileena, who basically looks like she has just eaten something, or, you know, has her face all bloated up and her mouth exposed. And she's basically posing before she gets ready to like lash out her claws to the side and start basically pouncing at you. Aside from the new intros, the NetherRealm Studio team went through the new skin and move variations for Rain. For variation number 1, we have Rain in more of a gold mask with green attire. And this skin, I would say, he looks very Prince-like. He is supposed to be the Prince of Edenia. He is a son of Argus, the god of Edenia, and he's a demigod. From the previous experience I had with Rain, you can't really tell that he's very arrogant, but from what they described of him in the Kombat Kast, he is very, very arrogant, and he likes to talk about himself as far as him being a demigod and having all this power. So with this kind of gold mask and green attire with kind of an over-the-shoulder, you know, robe type, you know, thing going on, he looks very, very royal-esque and very much someone you should not be messing with. I mean, that gold mask alone is awesome. So with this one, that's basically his skin, and with his moves, he basically has purple projectiles and purple portal moves. Now, we've seen the purple projectile go through, I believe it was Scarlet in a previous still, so now we actually get to see it in action. So with this skin, you get the purple projectiles and purple portal moves. In variation 2, we now have a white skin look that kind of shows Rain in a more ninja-like attire that's basically white. Now with this one, he has a special move where he can do a ribcage punch, and also has a splash move. Now the splash move can be directly ahead of you, or it can be kind of up above if the character is jumping at you. And also as mentioned that this particular skin and its movesets allows you to do easier, bigger combos, which Rain is very much known for. And the last variant, which I think has become more popular that I've seen on Twitter, is him in a black hood with blue attire. And a lot of people are linking this to Hydro, like a homage to Hydro, because of his moveset where he has a tidal wave, which I think is freaking cool. Basically, if you're crouching down and he needs to get you at a lower angle, he can basically smash the ground, and it does like a tidal wave, and then he can also hold it for a little bit longer, and it does a bigger tidal wave. And this is also the skill set where he can do the famous water bubble. So basically, he can shoot a water bubble at you, contain you, and he can control you, and do whatever he wants with you. Overall, I think these are all great additions to the actual regular Rain skin and moveset. I think if I were to do my choices of ones I would pick, aside from the regular one, I'd do probably variation 1 and variation 3, and then variation 2. Let me know which of the variants you like, and what do you think about the new moves? One thing I will mention that while it wasn't presented during the Kombat Kast, it was mentioned that Rain does have some moves and abilities that harken back to his classic MK3 days, including his infamous lightning bolt move, where Rain raises his arm to the sky to summon a lightning bolt that strikes down the opponent. We were told that we can expect this move to be added to the game, it just hasn't been shown in video yet. Other topics that were discussed at Rain's Kombat Kast include online onboarding that will be coming to the Mortal Kombat Ultimate update, and a shout out to fans for their continued support. So for players who are new to playing online, NetherRealm Studios will have a new online onboarding that will get players accustomed to how things function in the space of Mortal Kombat Online. Players will go through a tutorial where they will get to fight a Scorpion AI, and also be able to collect KP points that can be used in seasons of online play, and also get time crystals for taking this tutorial. MK fans also got a thank you from the NetherRealm Studios team for getting the Mortal Kombat YouTube channel to 1 million subscribers, and giving the NetherRealm Studios team a silver YouTube play button. Earlier this month, it was announced that MK11 has sold over 8 million copies of the game since its April 2019 release date, which is awesome. The fans' reactions to the latest Kombat Pack 2 alone has been great, so I can only imagine that number will increase come November. And that's just a brief breakdown of Rain's Kombat Kast. It wasn't particularly long, and we got to see some repeats of trailers that we've already seen, but we're hopeful that in Rambo's pack especially, and even Mileena's Kombat Kast, which will be the last one before the actual Kombat Pack 2 and MK11 Ultimate game is released, we do get something special. I think they'll do what they did this time and the next ones, as far as like throw little tidbit videos in there or little pieces that we may not notice this right away in existing footage of other characters to kind of throw us off. That way we do walk away feeling like we got something, you know, special. Because I know on Twitter, right after the Kombat Cast, people were talking about Melina's intro throughout the whole day on Twitter, posting GIFs and images and talking about how she stole his thunder and all that kind of stuff. So I can only expect what will happen when Rainbow's Kombat Cast happens. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.